Now, the event in Texas was organized by a controversial organization led by a controversial figure, and at least one civil rights group has labeled it a hate group. But can they or should they be stopped? CCTV's Roee Ruttenberg is in our newsroom. Roee, who is behind this group? What's their agenda?
Well, I'll say it appears that their campaign was aimed at drawing attention to what organizers say is the threat of Islam, and events like this, knowingly provocative, and the hype surrounding them ultimately bring attention to their cause. The woman behind the organization that put on the Texas drawing contest says she's not Islamophobic. And on Monday, the conservative blogger Pamela Geller defended the controversial event.
I'm anti-jihad, and anyone that says that I'm anti-Muslim is implying that all Muslims support jihad.
Jihad is an Arabic term meaning struggle, but it is often used by Islamic extremists or their sympathizers to justify violence against, quote, non-believers. Geller, on her website and in public, has repeatedly warned that violent jihad is spreading globally and coming soon to America. And she's rebuked those who've tried to silence her.
We are seeing the wholesale slaughter of Christians in Iraq and in Syria, in Nigeria, in the Congo, Central African Republic. The jihad is raging, and all we can talk about is backlash-ophobia. It's nonsense.
But Geller's tactics have been controversial. In 2007, she campaigned to block the establishment of a secular Arabic English school in New York, and 3 years later organized a large rally trying to block a mosque from being built near New York's Ground Zero site. The controversy brought Geller national attention, which she's used, among other things, to lash out at U.S. President Barack Obama. Meanwhile, she's a fan of Geert Wilders, the controversial anti-Muslim Dutch politician who's been charged, but not convicted, of hate incitement back home. Wilders spoke at the Texas event on Sunday. And Anders Breivik, the far-right Norwegian terrorist, referenced Geller in his manifesto. Breivik's 2011 attacks, aimed, he says, at saving Europe from a Muslim takeover, killed 77 people. The Texas shooting also reminded some of last year's attack on the French publication Charlie Hebdo, which left a dozen people dead. The magazine had featured drawings mocking the Muslim prophet Muhammad on the cover.
Charlie Hebdo was a satirical magazine that aimed its barbs at almost everyone. The vast majority is directed at much more powerful institutions in France, the church, the state, and so on. That seems to me quite different than an organization which is solely built around the defamation of Muslims and of Islam in general.
Mark Potak's organization independently monitors U.S. fringe groups. It recently dubbed Geller's American Freedom Defense Initiative a, quote, hate group, but says their actions are far from criminal.
Criminal incitement is a very narrow exception to freedom of speech. And what it normally requires is immediacy and a direct advocating of hurting someone. I don't think Geller is remotely close to anything that is chargeable under the law.
Nasia, Geller has been banned temporarily from visiting the UK, but there's little that can be done to stop her here in the US domestically, and critics say that while they don't condone the violence or accuse Geller or her group of being directly responsible for inciting it, they do insist this was a publicity stunt and ultimately one with deadly consequences.
Roee Ruttenberg, thank you.